What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be getting the debut of a brand new character in Global Opera Omnia, which is going to be Final Fantasy VI's Mog. But before we talk about Mog, if you guys are brand new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. That way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. And if you guys enjoy what you see on this channel, be sure to hit that like button and share this video, as it does help me out. Don't forget, as always, to check out all of the fantastic resources out there for Dissidia Opera Omnia. The links will be down below in the video description, as well as the pinned comment. And last but not least, don't forget to check out all of the rest of the fantastic content creators for Dissidia Opera Omnia. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the debut of Final Fantasy VI's Mog in Global Opera Omnia. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and talk all about Mog. We're finally getting a brand new character in Global Opera Omnia. It's been a while since we have, so this video is definitely gonna be a little bit longer compared to my other ones as of recently. But, you know, hang in there, and I'm gonna be leaving timestamps down below for specific portions of the video when I'm talking about certain skills. So then that way, if you guys want to skip around, you guys can skip to that portion of the video. We're gonna go ahead and talk about Mog. Now, for the purposes of this video, I am gonna be taking this demonstration to the 8 Lost Chapters Lufenia. It's an easier Lufenia. That way, if the enemy happens to take a turn, we're not going to be in too much trouble. So then that way, it'll be a smooth sailing demonstration for Mog. All right, so General Leo, go ahead and do your delay here. And then once we get to Mog, we're going to talk all about Mog. All right, so this is Mog. As you notice, he has two buffs active, he has a special effect active, and he also has a free skill usage of his Skill 1, Skill 2, and C65. When we actually go into the reasons why he has those, we'll talk about them, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and talk about each of his skills one by one. Okay, so Mog Skill 1 is called Jump, or Continuous Jump. At full max limit break and with extension, has 8 total uses. This is going to be healing his own Brave by 20% of max Brave, and then he's going to be delivering a 4-hit Water Range Brave plus HP attack with 50% HP splash damage, 150% stolen Brave overflow. He's going to be inflicting Thunder and Water Imperil on all targets for 4 turns, and then granting a framed buff called Dragon Horn to himself for 6 turns. This will be changing into Continuous Jump after usage. It's going to be healing his own Brave by 40% of max Brave, and then he's going to heal his own Brave again by max Brave and deliver a single target HP attack, followed by a 4-hit Water Range Brave plus HP attack, healing his own Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after the first HP attack, dealing 50% HP splash damage, 180% stolen Brave overflow, and then it's going to revert back to Jump after usage. Dragon Horn is going to be increasing the party's max Brave and attack by 40%, and it's also going to be lowering enemy speed by 10%. So we're going to take a look at it here in action. Let's use it on B. And this version is going to be the Continuous Jump, and I will get into the reason why he already has access to that straight on. And there is a follow-up attack, which we will be talking about when we talk about his Skill 2. Okay, amid Italian, we're going to just go ahead and delete turns so we don't get interrupted. Perfect, perfect. General Leo, you're going to delay. And then once we get back to Mog's turn, we're going to talk about his Skill 2. Okay, Mog Skill 2 is called Water Harmony with max limit break and extension, has 6 total uses. This is going to be healing the party's Brave by 30% of max Brave, and then delivering a 4-hit Water AoE range Brave attack plus AoE HP attack, dealing 60% increased Brave damage on a single target with split HP damage, 150% stolen Brave overflow, inflicting Thunder and Water Imperil on all targets for 4 turns, and then it grants Mog a special effect called Water Harmony for 8 turns. Water Harmony is going to grant a 20% water enchant to Mog, and it's going to grant the party a 10% HP regen, and then after Mog deals HP damage, he's going to trigger the following follow-up attacks, which is what we saw earlier. So if a party member is debuffed, he's going to trigger El Nino. El Nino is going to be cleansing 2 debuffs from the party, healing the party's Brave by 10% of max Brave, and then delivering a 2-hit Water AoE range Brave attack plus single target HP attack with 20% HP splash damage. Now, if no party members are debuffed, he's going to be triggering Plasma, which is going to be healing the party's Brave by 10% of max Brave, and then delivering a 2-hit Thunder and Water AoE range Brave attack plus single target HP attack with 20% HP splash damage and a 15% chance to inflict Confuse on enemy targets for 1 turn. Now, Water Harmony, while active, will grant Mog access to Brave Attack++, which heals the party's Brave by 20% of max Brave, and then delivers a 3-hit Water Range Brave attack, and then he'll also have access to HP Attack++, which heals his own Brave by 20% of max Brave, and then delivers a 2-hit Water Range Brave plus HP attack with 120% Stolen Brave Overflow. So let's go ahead and take a look at Water Harmony. There we go. And we get the follow-up, and because there's no debuffs, that's the one that's called Plasma. Again, that one has a chance of inflicting Confuse, which will pretty much stun the enemy. They can't take their turn. All right, General Leo, do your thing with Delay. Turn delete with a mid-Italian, and then we're going to get right back into Mog's kit, since it's his turn next. So Mog C65 is called Boost All. It has 2 total uses. It has a 5 turns additional effect, and then it's going to be increasing the party's max Brave by 20% for 5 turns. Let's just go ahead and see it in action here. I'm just going to use it on Mog, because why not? Here we go. All right, and I would be talking about his EX, but it's not active yet, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just use one of his skills so we can charge that EX. Let's go ahead and use Jump, since you guys saw Continuous Jump earlier. So that is Jump. Only has 1 HP dump versus 2. Okay. Let's go ahead and shock with General Leo. And by the time Mog's turn comes around, we should have access to his EX. All right, there we go. We have access to the EX. So Mog's EX with max limit break and full realization is going to grant him access to Moogle Rush. It has a normal recast speed. This permanently increases his own max brave and attack by 40% and allows him to begin the quest with Dragon Horn and Moogle Warrior framed buffs for 6 turns. It also grants him a free usage of his Skill 1, Skill 2, or C65 on his very first turn, which is what we saw at the beginning of the video, and it also grants him immediate access to Continuous Jump, which is what we saw earlier. It's going to be healing the party's Brave by 50% of max Brave, and then he's going to be delivering a 10-hit Water AoE range Brave attack plus AoE HP attack, dealing 100% HP damage to all targets with 150% Stolen Brave Overflow, and it's going to be granting him a framed buff called Moogle Warrior for 6 turns. Moogle Warrior increases the party's Stolen and Gain Brave Overflow by 20%, and it also increases the party's Brave damage dealt by 20% when individual HP is at least 50% of max HP. The D-type sphere unlocked from realizing this EX weapon is called Buff Success Raging Boost All. This is going to be raising the party's max Brave by 1% up to 5 times when the equipped party member grants a buff. So let's go ahead and take a look at the EX in action here. So he does 10 Brave hits followed by an HP attack. It's going to trigger a follow-up. There we go. And on B, look at that. We got the Confuse effect off from Plasma, which is nice. All right, with the mid-Italian, let's go ahead and just delete more turns. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about Mog's LD. So Mog's LD with max limit break and LD boards grants him access to Moogle March with 3 total uses. This is going to permanently increase his own max brave by 30% and his attack by 90%. It allows him to start with Water Harmony for 6 turns, which is what we saw at the beginning of the video. It also adds 2 new effects to Water Harmony. Those 2 new effects are a 10% max brave regen to the party, and it also lowers all enemy speed by 10%. This heals the party's HP by 70% of individual max HP, and then delivers a 3-hit water distributed range brave attack plus AoE HP attack executed 3 times. It's going to heal the party's brave by 40% of max brave, and then follow up with a 3-hit water distributed range brave attack plus AoE HP attack, dealing split HP damage, 170% stolen brave overflow, grants Water Harmony special effect to himself for 12 turns, and then on his next turn, Mog is going to be getting a free skill usage of his Skill 1, Skill 2, or C65. Now with the LD, Mog's follow-up attacks, the El Nino and Plasma, will be upgraded. El Nino will now become El Nino Plus. It's still going to be cleansing 2 debuffs from the party, but this time it's going to heal the party's brave by 20% of max brave, and then delivering a 3-hit AoE water range brave attack plus single target HP attack with a higher brave potency, dealing 20% HP splash damage, 120% stolen brave overflow, and then Plasma becomes Plasma Plus, which heals the party's brave by 20% of max brave, delivering a 3-hit Thunder and Water AoE range brave attack plus single target HP attack with 20% HP splash damage, 120% stolen brave overflow, and this time you have a 30% chance to inflict confuse on enemy targets for 1 turn. We're just going to go ahead and see that in action here. This is undoubtedly one of the most adorable animations that you're going to see in this game. Look at that. And it's pretty funny too. Look at that. That's so cool. All right, so Mog's Calls, after he uses his follow-up here. All right. So Mog's Calls, if you're going to be using him for his calls, his base call uses his Skill 1 jump. It grants the caller a 20% max brave and attack increase for 6 turns, and also lowers all enemies' speed by 10% for 6 turns. And then his LD call allows him to use Moogle March, which is going to be healing the party's HP by 70% of individual max HP. Recommended artifact passes for Mog are Attack plus 108 times 3, and Mind Dwelling Moogles boost 2-star times 3, and investing in his HG Armor has the effect of brave damage dealt by the party can exceed the limit of 9999 by 5%, up to 10,498. So after hearing all this, what's my personal take on this character? He's a Swiss Army knife, and he offers your party a wide variety of utilities such as party auras, brave battery, HP healing, brave and HP regen, cleanse, elemental imperil, enemy turn shut down with confuse, longevity, and free skill usage. And he's also really flexible because he only has 2 framed buffs for himself, 1 debuff that he inflicts, so it allows him to be slotted fairly easily in a lot of different party compositions. That being said, some say his damage output can be a little bit on the lower end, and because he is pretty much a jack of all trades, he doesn't particularly excel at one role better than, like, let's say a character who specializes specifically in something. However, versatility means he could fulfill several roles for your party, so if you are, let's say, lacking something for a specific fight, let's say you need a healer, Mog has that. He has that with the HP regen and also the healing that comes from his LD. Now, me personally, I'm going to be pulling for this character with my tickets. I used him quite a bit, actually, on JP because he's a lot of fun to use. Not only does he have some of the funniest and coolest animations that you'll see in the game, but he just does a lot of things for your party, and I personally enjoyed using him. But remember, if you guys are considering or looking into pulling for this character, do your own research. Check out the links down below that I always leave in the video description and the pinned comments, and then make your educated decision on whether or not you feel like Mog will be giving you some sort of value if you do pull for all of his gear. Speaking of his gear, banner-wise, it's going to have Mog's LD EX 35 and 15. It's going to have your chance to get Terra BT if you're still looking to get that BT. And afterwards, it's going to have Kane EX 35 and 15. Kane at this point is a bit outdated. He has a delay with his EX. He hits fairly hard still for a ranged damage dealer, but unless you carry him with 2 other strong characters, you're probably not going to be really taking him too much into Lufenia at this point. Vincent is also going to be on this banner, who was one of our global first LD characters. However, the LD is not going to be on here, unfortunately. It's only going to have EX 35 and 15. But if you are missing that, and let's say you have his LD but you're lacking some of his other gear, it is also on this banner as well. Alright guys, well this is going to go ahead and conclude my video for Mog's debut in Global Opera Omnia. Hopefully this helps you guys out in deciding whether or not you want to pull for the character, and also give you guys a little bit more knowledge on what the character actually does. Thank you again for watching. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahalo everyone.